Welcome back to Just Scribble. Today we are going to check out a new fountain pen that I received. This fountain pen is from Dryden Design. It is a family-owned business based here in the United States. They do have a website, but I'm going to point you to their Amazon shop in the links down below because their website is currently under construction. That way you don't have to wait to shop. So I received this pen from Dryden Design to check out, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So they do have some different pen options available. They come in different colors, and they also have different kind of packages where you get extra things when you purchase your pen, like extra cartridges and things like that. But I'm going to walk you through the set that I got so you can check that out, and then you can see if this is the type of set you would want, or if you would want to purchase one of their other sets. So when you get it, it does come in a cardboard box like this. It says curate your inspiration on one side. It has their website on the other, like I said, that's currently under construction. Then it has their little barcode. It has some pretty writing on the front. But when you open it up, it has a beautiful box inside with their logo on it. And then inside, you have your pen and some extra goodies. So when you open it up, the box looks like this, and you get a pamphlet with it that talks to you about the parts of your pen. It shows you how to get started with your pen, how to use the converter that comes with your pen, and then it also has instructions for you to register your pen for your warranty. In this particular set, the one that I got, you actually get 2 nibs, a converter, and ink cartridges, which I think is super awesome. So the pen came, and I have been using it and testing it out, so it does already have ink in it, but the pen came and I was really excited because they sent me a purple pen, and purple is my favorite color. I did not talk to them about a color or what I would want. They just sent me a purple one, and I absolutely love it. A pretty finial on top. It has gold accents on it. It is a click cap, not a screw cap. And then it came with their fine nib on it. So this is their fine nib. It's a slightly hooded nib. And then it came with a second nib, which is a medium nib. So this is the second nib that it came with. So when you shop for their pens, you can buy a fine nib pen, you can buy a medium nib pen, or you can buy a set like this that comes with both. So if you buy a medium nib pen, this is the nib that will be on your pen. If you buy the fine nib pen, this is the nib that will be on your pen. It does come with a set of cartridges. They're in a little box with their label on it. It does use standard cartridges, so you can use Waterman cartridges or some other standard cartridges that you've bought from your favorite fountain pen shop or from Jet Pens. These are short cartridges. So I have 3 blue cartridges and 3 black ink cartridges. So it came with 6 cartridges and 2 nibs. And then if you prefer to use bottled ink, it came with a converter, which I already have in the pen and I already have inked up. But it just pops in and out. And you twist the back to push the little piston up to the top, and then you stick it down in your ink, twist it the other direction, and it will suck ink into the converter. To put the converter in your pen, you just slide it up into the pen until it's nicely seated, and then you put the back on your pen. Now, if you wanted to change nibs, you would just take off the fine nib, and then you would pop the medium nib on, screw the back on like that, and then you can cap your pen. This pen is metal and it has a really nice weight to it. And it is nicely weighted and balanced if you don't post your pens, which I generally don't post your pens, but I did test it and it does post nicely. So if you like a little bit more length or you just really like posting your pens, you can post this pen and you can use it posted. If you don't like to post your pens, you can use it unposted. I am going to first show you guys a little sample of writing with the fine nib. So this is the writing in the pen with the fine nib, which I did before this video. The price at the time of filming for this set, where it came with the 2 nibs, the converter, and the 6 ink cartridges, is $32.97 on Amazon. And we're going to check out the medium nib together. But before I do that, I am going to show you which ink I put in it, because I was trying to find the perfect purple that would be the perfect match for this pen. And I think that the ink that I picked is a really good match. So let me grab that so I can show it to you. So this briefcase is the standard model from Colorverse. So this little briefcase is filled with a whole bunch of Colorverse inks. And this is the little swatch card, the printed swatch card of the colors. And I picked Top from Colorverse as the ink for this pen. When I looked at the swatch and the label, it looked like it was going to be a perfect match. And it was. So that's the ink that I picked for this pen. So now we're going to test out the medium nib that I had swapped out. Now with both of these nibs, I did flush them before using them. So with the fine nib, I flushed it before I loaded the ink into the converter. And then before I started the video, I also flushed out the medium nib. I always recommend flushing nibs in a new pen before you fill them up, because you never know if there's going to be a little bit of extra particulate inside the nib, or if they tested the nib before sending it out, and it just increases the odds of a nice ink flow and decreases the odds of skipping and clogging and things like that. So I did flush this nib, and so it's probably still a little bit wet. So I expect that the ink will be slightly lighter than here where I wrote with the fine nib, because I had been using the fine nib on the pen as I have been testing it out since I received it. So the ink here may be a little bit lighter just because there may be some residual water inside the medium nib, but that will dry relatively quickly, and then the ink will come out in the normal color as I continue to use the medium nib. So I'm just going to write medium nib, and you can see it's a little bit more fuchsia, a little less purple, and that will change as I write with it more. This is Colorverse Top ink. So that is the writing with the medium nib and the fine nib. Now I will say I actually much prefer the fine nib in this pen for 2 reasons. One is that it is a very smooth, fine nib, and it has a really crisp line. This writing might be a little bit more crisp once that water evaporates and it's just the ink flowing through the pen, but a medium nib is always going to be wetter and have a thicker line, and I really like the crisp writing of this fine nib. But the other reason that I really like it is because it is a slightly hooded nib. It reminds me quite a bit of a nib in my Sheaffer pen that my dad had given me. He is a fountain pen collector, and he's given me some pens from his collection over the years, and one of them is this Sheaffer with this beautiful nib, and I love this pen. It writes beautifully, but also it just reminds me of my daddy, and so I really, really like it. And I love that this nib is reminiscent of that. It kind of gives me that same nostalgic feel. So I really like the fine nib. So if I was going to choose personally to buy one of their pen sets that just had one nib instead of the set like this one that comes with both, I personally would be buying the fine nib. The medium nib is also smooth. It's very, very pretty. I haven't had any hard starts. I just wrote hard and I didn't mean to write hard. I meant to write no hard starts. I haven't had any clogging issues with the fine nib as I've been using it. I've really enjoyed this pen. I think it is really, really pretty, and I think that it is nicely balanced. It writes well. I really love the look of this nib, and I think it's a really professional pen. I think it would be a nice pen to keep at the office and use in your planner at the office. I think it would also make a really nice gift, especially the set that comes with everything that you need, because you've got cartridges in both colors, you've got a converter, you've got 2 nib choices, you have the really pretty box. Less than $35 for all of this would make a really nice fountain pen gift for someone in your life. That is my video on my new fountain pen from Dryden Design. I'm actually going to change this nib back out before we go, just because I really like the fine one and that's the one I want to keep on it to use. But I really like this pen. I am really appreciative of Dryden Design sending it to me so that I could check it out and also share it with you guys. I like how it writes. I love that I found the perfect ink to match the beautiful purple pen that they gave me. I love the different package options that they have. It's a very inexpensive fountain pen with a nice weight and a nice nib, and I'm quite pleased with it. If you have any questions about anything I shared in this video, please don't hesitate to comment below and I will definitely get back with you. Make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss my future videos, and don't forget to just scribble.